This market gave us a clean sell signal, and then it completely reversed. Traders who cut quickly stayed alive. Those who didn't got run over. I'm Owen Larson with Mission Winners, and this is Market Edge, ahead of the trade for Sunday, September 21st, 2025. We'll start with the ETFs and sector trends, then move into a lesson on trade location and discipline, and finish with the leadership names in the MAXLIST.
So let's go in here and take a look here. I start the ETFs, all right? They're just in order here, no special order. The idea is this, again, looking for strength. That's what we're after. GDX, ticker symbol, you can always see it up here, or it's on this corner also. GDX, this is the gold miners. It's been showing strength on the daily. It's been showing strength on the weekly. Note this weekly base right here. Note the volume. This is why we look at both time frames. You can see setups on one time frame you won't see on another. And it helps us make better investing decisions in money. Coming across these tops, and yes, just making a nice move. And yes, we own it and it's working. Let's continue onward. Silver related, silver and gold. They should do a song about that. Note the base setup, volume was coming into it, and it's working. There we go. Connecting the dots. Industries, sectors, in this instance, metals. There we go. Let's move on. Energy. Weekly on the left, daily on the right. And you can see it's kind of choppy. Look at the weekly, chopping around. Daily, chopping around. It's okay. The base looks okay. But is it doing anything right now as far as chewing people up? That's what it's doing. So until it starts to break out, be careful with energy stocks. Isn't that great? At Mission Winners, like I said, we systematize it. We got a limited amount of money and time. Let's use them. Here's gold, GDX and GLD breaking through these tops right here on the daily and on the weekly. Volume steadily rising. This is important. I taught this at the IBD meetups. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. They're voting here. It's steadily going up on increasing volume. There we go. Simple base breakout. Yeah, we own it. It's working. Now, that being said, please don't chase price and buy it up here. Buy close to a simple pivot price or don't buy at all. That'll really help you. OIH started to lift up, but you see, gosh, look, it goes up and it goes down, goes up, goes down. It's chopping around here. It's being met with sellers. Until this starts to lift off, be careful with oil, OIH, but also oil service stocks. Continue onward. Metals and mining. Gosh, what's metals and mining? Yeah, I think like gold and stuff like that's part of that. Look at the move this is making too. Look at the weekly chart. Note the trend. That's what we look for. That's what we get involved with. Is there anything to do with it now? It's a little bit extended, so be cautious with that. XLE forming a base right here. Formed a base here. Started to lift off. But there's another line, and I'll draw this to help you. I'm doing this on a Saturday morning. This is real time, folks. There we go. Go across these tops. What does it need to do? Push through these tops with volume. Now note this. Runs up and drops, runs up and drops, runs up and drops. It's met with sellers up here. It needs to push through this line, and it needs to push through with volume. You see that line? I'll show you this too. It's the same as right there. It's the same thing, folks. Just let the price and volume action tell you what to do. Again, it's met with selling until it takes out the line. Resistance, be cautious. Regional banking's kind of chopping around here. Reversal bar here, but had a decent bar here. But now notice, and this is the stuff we teach in Mission Winners. You say, oh, that's a good bar on volume. Notice where it opened. Note where it closed. It closed in the bottom third of its daily range. It was met with some selling. There's not a lot of leadership at this point in time. It needs to start to take out these tops with volume. And until then, just leave the regional banks alone. Banking, picking up a little bit, choppy. We need to see some power push here. Okay, now, this is the daily. And I'm doing this real time on a Saturday morning. Isn't this great? Man, I need to get a life. Here we go. Just kidding. This is fun. We're looking for money. Basing right here on the weekly. Needs to take out these tops, but note, it runs up, reverses down. Runs up, fades down on a pickup in volume. It needs to lift off here. Take out these tops on the weekly and the daily, and it needs to do it with volume. Banking stocks, Financials don't look too bad. A little choppier here, but it's trending nicely. Look at some financial stocks. Insurance, this is why we do both weekly and daily. You look here and say, gosh, I don't see much happening here, Pat. But then you look at the weekly and say, hey, that's a nice long base, but it needs to take out this top. There's the line on the daily. There's the line on the weekly. Needs to take out those tops with volume. And until it does, stay away from the insurance stocks. It's just basing. It's not moving. It's going sideways. Healthcare's kind of sloppy here. Really not much to do with it on the weekly or the daily. Healthcare, avoid it. Real estate starts to go up and they give it right back until it takes out this line on the daily and the weekly. Be careful with real estate stocks. See, at Mission Winners, this is what we do. It's areas to look into, maybe further, but also areas to stay away from for right now. There you go. And it's fallen here. Leave it alone. Real estate. Pharmaceuticals has a decent base here on the weekly and the daily, but until it takes out these tops here, be careful with pharmaceutical stocks. Just say no to drugs. Just kidding. Okay. Solar, basing here. You can see the pennant on the weekly. Runs up, gives it right back. Runs up, doesn't close that strong. Until it takes out these tops, I'll draw this to help. Let's do that again. My apologies. There you go. That's close enough. By the way, folks, when you're drawing lines, it doesn't need to be to the penny. Oh, I'm off a couple of cents here. Get close to it to get the bigger picture. There we go. Downward sloping trend line, decent volume. Solar needs to take out these tops with volume. And it did. It had pretty good volume on Friday. Maybe looking at some solar stocks. Let's continue onward. Consumer staples, stay away. By the way, I'm not being funny here. I'm just laying it out. Look at the weekly chart. Look at the daily chart. It's below all the moving averages. Leave it alone. You know what's great about that? And think about this. Areas to look into, but also areas to avoid. It narrows our focus on what remains, the best of the best. Oil and gas kind of chopping around here on both the weekly and the daily. And until this starts to show some power, be careful with oil and gas. Materials. Basing across here, that's the same line right here, folks. Going across here, needs to take out these tops with volume. And notice, you can see it's chopping around. Oh, look, it goes right up and it gaps down. It goes right up and fades. It goes right up and drops down. Runs up and reverses down. What does that tell us? This is the power bases we look for, the power foundations. They're selling it, folks. They're not buying it yet. And until it pushes through that line on the weekly and the daily, be cautious with materials. There we go. Medicine, they need drugs. Leave it alone for right now. Biotechnology, grinding up steadily. Not a rocket ship move, but the trend is up. You can ride it for what it's worth. There you go. Don't buy it up there. There's nothing to do with it. Utilities, I'll go back to this. Maybe it'll form a base, okay? But notice what it did on Friday. It gaps up and reverses down on a pickup in volume. You say, but Pat, that's a good bar there. Here's a good lesson for everybody. It runs up. Oh, this is great. And closes below where it opened, folks. That's powerful information. That's the stuff we teach in Mission Winners. Look at this. Be cautious with this. It runs up. They take it right back down. Oh, look at this bar. Oh, it closes near the highs, but it didn't do it on heavy volume. The next bar, they take it right back down. What does that say? Be a little cautious with biotechnology. Let's move on. Utilities, nothing really going on there. Leave it alone. Just move on. We don't have to overthink it. Online retail's nice trend there. Look at that. You can look at some retail stocks. And it's been working for a while. Retail ETF. Basing nicely, but it needs to take across these tops. And I'll draw this to help you. Needs to take out these tops with volume. Notice, at Mission Winners, we study price and volume combined together. What's it doing here? It's falling on steadily increasing volume, okay? Increasing selling pressure. Until it shows some strength and power, be careful with retailing. There we go. Steel's picking up, but it's kind of choppy here. You can see right here. And this is, again, why we look at both charts side by side, time frames. On the weekly, it's got a huge cup with a handle. but it needs to take out these tops with volume on the weekly. Also notice it rallies right up. Folks, this is important from a psychological perspective. Charts have memory. You say, what's hocus pocus? No, it's not. It's humans making the decisions, and we have memory, right? Right here. There were people buying it here, and it drops like a rock. Rallies right back up to the old highs, and people go, you think there were people that bought this here and didn't sell? Oh, you know they did. Right up here and here. Runs right back up near the old highs. The people that bought it there go, thank God I'm near my price. I'm selling it. And they did. There you go. Till it takes out these tops on the weekly and daily. Be cautious with steel. XSW, software. Note the base on the weekly that it lifted through. Continues right here. And tell me people don't look at these charts, folks. Look at the volume pickup right there when it pushed through. That's the same line if I extended it. Pushed through those tops. They bought it. What does it say? I'm looking at some software stocks. Yeah, there we go. We're involved with things. Here we go. Uranium's picking up. No real clean entry. It's extended. But even back here, you see that igniting bar? Look at the volume on that bar. That's institutional buying. That's big money buying. It's giving you a heads up back there saying, hey, you might want to look into me. Quiet, starts to pick up and takes off. Combining emission winners, you combine price and volume action, folks, and it works. Oil, there ain't nothing good going on with oil. Leave it alone. Communications, acting okay, technology related. Note the simple base right here, and I will help this right there. There it is. It's the same line, folks. All right. Just basing here on the daily, and it starts to lift up on decent volume. And note again the trend of the ADMA. That's huge. Ride trends, folks. I'm not kidding. It's, I got to get in, I got to get out, I got to get in and get out. I'll trade it. Let the thing work for you. It'll make you more money with less stress and less hassle. I say that a lot. It's the truth. Nothing to do with it here, though. It's extended. Okay? Airlines, until it takes out these tops on the weekly, just leave it alone, and there's some selling going on here. There we go. But it's basing decent. Small caps acting decent. What has it been telling us for a while on the weekly? Hey, you might want to look at some small cap stocks. Yeah. There you go. Looking for leaders. Home builders, kind of sloppy here. Be careful with home construction. Also note, falls on heavy volume here, falls on heavier volume here. Be careful with home construction. Continuing. Mid-cap's just basing, but it needs to take out these tops across here. And I'll draw the line for you. Where is that? It's a downward sloping trend line, but it's close enough. There you go. Needs to take out these tops with volume. You say, boy, that was a good bar, Pat. Folks, check this out. It rallies up. Where's the volume on the weekly? There really wasn't any. There's no power. And it stalls until it takes out these tops. Be careful with mid-cap. They're not really powered in mid-cap right here. iShares, same situation. Basing. Big up in the handle. Needs to take these tops out with volume. Mid-cap. Continue onward. Biotechnology is going up, but it's choppy. It's choppy. But the trend is up. And it's been telling you maybe looking at some biotech stocks. You see what we do here, team? Areas to look into further, but also areas to avoid. I love that. Home builders, really not much happening there. Kind of choppy. Be cautious. Transportation, slapping around till it starts to take out these tops here, up in here. That line. Just watch out. There's a small base right here. It needs to push through. Also notice, you could either look into some transportation stocks, or you can just buy the darn ETF if it triggers. There you go. But always remember, price and volume. Spiders picking up, steady trend. That's nice to see. Like that. IB50, hold on a second. I'm going to check something here. There we are. We go back to it. This is a full ETF list. Spiders trending nicely. Look at the weekly. That's a nice trend. Yeah, and that's why we're invested. It was telling us to. The charts were telling us, hey, you want to get involved with some stocks. IBD50, moving up nicely. What has it been saying? Hey, you might look into some IBD50 growth stocks. Great shopping list. ITA, aerospace and defense, steadily trending. That's good to see. Something to look into. Dow Jones Internet, trending up. It's working. Have you noticed, by the way, how many times I've used the phrase, it's working or trending up? I'm trying to give the I won't say a hint, the message. It's been telling us, many of these sectors have been saying, hey, you might want to get involved with us, okay? You might want to get involved more in the market. We don't have to forecast. We let price and volume action guide our actions. Continue onwards. Cybersecurity is picking up. Looking at some cybersecurity stocks. Industrials, basing here, a little sloppy. Runs up and fades, runs up and fades, runs up and fades. Needs to go across these tops. But a decent base on the weekly. Consumer discretionary trending. That's good to see. Aerospace and defense trending up. That's good to see. Retail, steady trend. Kind of sloppy though. There's some, it goes up, they take it down. Look right here. Lifts up, gaps down. Lifts up, reverses down. Runs up, drops. Lifts up, gaps down. Runs up, reverses down. Not a lot of conviction sticks with it. Okay? That's a great lesson to be aware of. The trend is up, but you'll have to give it some travel range if you buy it, because it has a tendency to go up and fade again and again. But the trend is up. I stress that again. Software technology. Look at that cup and a handle. Isn't that nice? Look at the volume that came into that. That's our edge. And that's why I do these videos, is to teach what the heck to look for. What works? It's like, why am I doing this? I don't do this. You don't do this to look at charts. We do this to find opportunity to make money. There we go. QQQ, NASDAQ 100, trending up nicely, says to be involved with it. Cloud computing, trending nicely, be involved with it. S&P 500 growth, trending up nicely. It's been telling us for a while, hey, you might want to look into some growth stocks. Yes, and we did. Yes, we have, and we did. SSO, same situation. Leverage, this is owned, and it's just trending nicely. Now, I need to stress something here, and this is important. Very important. Buy close to a clean entry spot. Don't chase price. There is no edge to buying this up here, making that your first buy. You're opening yourself up to larger risk. Okay? Please don't do that to yourself. Don't chase price. Small caps acting okay. XLK, look at technology. Note the trend on the weekly. Yeah, and that's why we've been involved in technology, and I bet you are too. NASDAQ 100, love the NASDAQ 100 stocks. Growth related, big name stocks. Trending nicely, going up. It's been telling us for a while, hey, you might want to look into some growth stocks. Again, we don't have to forecast. It's telling us what to do. Continuing, semiconductors moving on up. That's nice to see. Semiconductors, direct-seeing semiconductors moving up. We're about done. Gold miners, hold on a second. I'm going to slide this down.
Trade location is everything. When the indexes are stretched well above their moving averages, new buys are low odds. The smarter move is to wait for pullbacks toward proper spots where risk can be controlled, and when your thesis fails, exit quickly. Don't let a bad trade become worse. That discipline keeps you alive and ready for the next setup. Leadership always shows up first in the max list. If this advance is going to continue, we'll see it there. Let's go back to Pat for the updated review.
Apple, note the base break right here on the weekly and on the daily, taking out these tops. And I'm going to draw this for you to help you. I quote unquote contaminated the experiment from a scientific perspective. It would have been better if I had done this, okay? Just basing right here. Needs to take across these tops with volume. This is a daily chart. Look at the volume pickup on that bar, folks. Volume. Confirmation. The big money saw the setup and bought. Yeah, we did too. No, right here. Volume on this bar, 44 million. Volume on this bar, 163 million. Almost quadruple. There we go. And it's working. Good start. Now, another very important lesson. And I teach this, I taught this at IB meetups for years. Buy close to the pivot or don't buy it at all. Don't chase price. If you don't own it, I'd encourage you, don't make your first buy up here. All right? Control risk. Buy close to the pivot or don't buy at all. I'll say it again. Amazon started to lift up, but then backed off. Also notice it gapped up, ran up, and closed below where it opened. It's met with sellers until it takes out this line right here, and I'll draw this to help you. Small downward sloping trend line. It needs to take this out, but note, again, I'm going to make this bigger. Look at where it opened. It gapped up, it ran up, and it closed below where it opened. It was met with selling. It needs to take this out, and it needs to take it out decisively with volume. There you go. Another very important lesson that I taught at IBD ETFs for years, and I taught at Mission Winners, I teach at Mission Winners, don't have the chart bars so tight you can't see the nuances of the chart. Spread it out. Find a spot, find a time spread on the chart that works for you. It's easy for your eyes to see. That will really help you. A lot of people don't talk about that. We do. Continue onward. That's a derivative of Amazon, okay? Amazon Bull, same thing as Amazon. Alibaba, note the base right here, folks. There was one base right here, and this is a weekly chart. Taking across these tops. And note the volume pickup on this bar, folks, right there, on a gap up. They bought this. Yeah, we bought it too. All through here. And then note the trend up the moving average. And it's just working. Where's it going to go? I don't know. Sell a little bit into strength? That's fine. Don't sell all of it, though. Don't limit profits. Lock some in. By selling a little bit, let's be very pragmatic here. Selling a small portion, you have guaranteed yourself a profit. It could drop all the way down to your buy price. We wouldn't let that happen. But it could, and you'd sell the rest for break even, but you made money on these shares. That helps us financially. That helps us psychologically. There we go. Trending nicely. We're just going to let it work. Baidu, sister stock, same situation. Weekly and daily. Load the volume on that bar, folks. On this bar, it did volume of 2.6 million. On this bar, 10.9 million. 4.5 times as much. There you go. And off to the races. And note the trend on the daily, and we just let it work. Price alerts are set, lock some into profits. Now we just let it work. By the way, I'm not bringing this up to brag. No, I teach this to show people, to help people. Everything I share, I wish somebody would have shown me and taught me years ago. That's why we started Mission Winners, is to help. It's in good shape, nothing to do with it. We let it work. Google trending nicely. You can see on the weekly, nice trend here. Note the volume picking up on it, steadily picking up. What are we doing with it? We're just letting it work. That's all. Trends pay. Trends pay more than all the decisions we make. We're going to let it work. Continue on. Goldman Sachs. Note this simple base right here. Another base right here. And it's just trending. What do? Let it work. By the way, you can say, this doesn't help me. I don't own this one, Pat. Here's the best part. Successful people turn negatives into positives and say, I don't own this one. I wish I did, but I don't. But by God, with what Pat's telling me, hey, guess what? I'm going to own the next one. I know what to look for. There you go. I love that. MasterCard, good lesson. Rallies here on the weekly and drops off. Notice right here, there's a tail bar. It just goes up and then gaps right down and falls. What's it do here? Rally right back up near those old highs and reverses down. Charts reflect human emotions, human psychology. Right here, do you think there are people that bought this? Yeah. Do you think there's people that bought it that didn't sell? Yeah. And it drops like a rock and they go, oh, God, what did I do to myself? And then it comes back up near price. The old buys. Who do you think's selling up here, folks? People that bought it down here, but also people that bought it up here and watched this thing drop and go, geez, what happened to me? Comes back near their price and they go, thank heaven I'm near my price. I'm selling, right? It's all reflected in the charts, price and volume. You don't need to have a master's degree in or a doctorate in psychology to understand it. It's simple. We use this. This is our edge. And we use it in Mission Winners. Helps us make more money, helps us make better investing decisions. So Big tail bar here. Be cautious until it starts to take out these tops. Just stay away from it. That's serious selling, by the way, folks. Serious selling volume. Here we go. Continue onwards. Meta, derivative, okay? 2.5 times meta or 1.5 times meta. Just basing here, but it's kind of sloppy, okay? Look, goes up, just chopping around. There's no real clean entry. It's trending up, but we just have to wait to see if we can find a better entry on it. There we go. Meta, own. We own this down here. Sold some. We'll watch it and see what happens. What's one slight negative? It fell on fairly heavy volume on Friday. So just be a little cautious with that. See that selling volume? Something to be aware of. In other words, if you don't own it, don't buy it up here. Wait till it bases and pushes through clean tops with volume. There we go. Microsoft, lift it up here. You can see this pushing through here. I like that. Lots of overhead supply, but that was serious buying volume on this. This is one you might want to watch going forward this coming week. Okay. Netflix really kind of in no man's land at this point in time, shopping around. Oh, by the way, do we like clean and simple bases? You see this weekly base right there? Look at that and look at the volume. Yeah, we own that. There we go. Nothing to do with it here until it straightens up. Continue onwards. NVIDIA, chopping around here. Real lot of tail bars. I mean, look at this. Runs up, tail bar, tail bar. High investor emotions here. Reversal bar here, down, and then it gaps up. Chopping around until this settles down and starts to take out this weekly high with volume. Okay, be cautious. This high on this bar corresponds with the high on this bar. There you go. But it's going to need to push through again with good price action and good volume action and a good market. Same thing's true with NVDL, Tesla. I say this a lot, and it's that important. Simplicity helps us. We don't need to get fancy. Simple bases that everybody can see. I see it. You see it. Everybody sees it. They should do a cheerleading song about that. Anyway, just basing across here. Note the volume pickup on that bar. Note the volume pickup on this bar and the follow through here. It just lifted off. What do? We're buying it. That's it. Sold a little bit into strength. We're in good shape. We're in good shape. Just let her work. I don't know where it's going to go. Maybe this is the top. I'm not sure. But notice this. In reverse down on low volume, picked up on about the same volume. Just an inside bar. It's at a state of equilibrium at this point in time. We'll watch and see which way it goes, up or down. And that will tell us what to do next. That's all. And I'm just looking at the daily chart, folks. I'm not taking this down to 10-minute charts. It'll chew you up. Okay, you think so? Here's a 10-minute chart. Look at this, whipping back and forth. I mean, you look at this, go, oh my God, this is the end of the world right here. This thing's dropping like a dang rock. Okay, what's the date on this? I didn't show the date. Oh, excuse me, September 18th. Okay, you ready for this? This looks awful. Here's the daily. September 18th, that's September 18th. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. Gaps up, reverses down on less volume than it went up on. Just a quiet bar. It's okay. Calmness helps us make better decisions, not just in investing, but in various realms of life. TSLL, same situation. Visa's in no man's land. Leave it alone. It's below the falling 50-day. See that moving average? That's the green line. That's the 50-day moving. I said this at IB Meetups for years. The air is better above a rising 50-day moving average line. It ain't there. Leave it alone. And then we rounded out with this one with Intel. Gaps up hard. Okay. This is one to watch going forward. I put this on here for a reason. Gaps up, reverses down, closes below where it opens. Watch this stock going forward. This may lend itself an opportunity. Not Monday, well, maybe Monday. Combine both price and volume action. Just something to watch. Oracle, same situation. We've got some others in here that we're looking at. Oracle's picking up a little bit here, bouncing off the ADMA. What do you notice about the chart? Well, Pat, it bounced off the ADMA on a pickup in volume. Yeah, something worth watching. By the way, I already have a price alert set on Oracle.
Before we wrap up, a quick note about our upcoming webinar. It was delayed a couple of weeks and we appreciate your patience, but we did reschedule it for this Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you have questions you want us to cover, post them in the comments below. To tune in, just be here on YouTube at that time. We thank you for subscribing and hitting like on the video. Visit missionwinners.com if you're ready to become part of our VIP team. And as always, master your strategy, trust the process, and maintain your edge.
I am here in the middle of nowhere. There is no there, it is cold there, but I am safe. And